Hello. All right, I am going to make a video explaining what I'm showing parents in the Zoom meetings this weekend, and then I'm going to try to send it to everyone so that you can refer back to it. Okay, I'm pretty excited because this is the first time I've ever figured out how to make a video of my own screen, so I'm pretty pumped for that. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is go down to the bottom of your kid's screen. Right now you can't see mine and mine looks different than your kid's screen, but at the bottom it'll be the Google Chrome button. So that's the first thing that you have to do in the day is it brings up the internet. So you're not going to have any tabs. I have my tabs already open. But right here is the blue Clever C. And when you click on the blue Clever C, it brings them to their Clever account. And that's where the school keeps our applications. So you scroll until you find the Schoology one. It could be this one or that one, both of them. In theory, if one doesn't work for you, the other one will. So that's why we have two. You click on My Class, and then that's when you log into your Zoom here in the mornings by 8:30. So you would click Zoom, but I actually have to go into my Zoom account because I'm the host of the Zoom. And when I'm the host, it means that I have to open the platform. So the steps I'm taking right now, you don't do. This is just me. This is how I open up the Zoom every day. I go to my meetings. And I start the meeting. So when I start the meeting, this is when in the morning, all the kids will see each other. So again, in theory, you would just click on this Zoom button and it would pop Zoom right up. So the children right now, it actually is popping it up full screen for them. So 8:30 in the morning, that's all your child did was they went to Clever, they went to Schoology, they clicked on the Zoom button, and they're here. From 8:30 to 9, we're just here, we're in Zoom, we're talking to each other. Some of us are finishing breakfast. Sometimes I'm still eating breakfast. Some kids have Play-Doh out. I'm okay with that. We're just waiting for everybody to log in. I'm taking attendance. I'm taking what we call a temperature check. And a temperature check is when I'm just trying to feel the feelings and emotions of every kid. You know, who's coming in already upset, who's coming in ready to go, who's coming in flustered, just things that are important for me to know about because that depends on how our day goes. So once they're here, I am then going to tell them, we are going into breakout rooms. All last week, we went into breakout rooms already. So your kids have already been in breakout rooms and they already have experience with them. We just, in the breakout room, all they were doing was talking to each other. Now what we're going to do is that in your breakout room, you're going to be doing assignments. So that's what this video is going to show you. In your child's screen, this button all the way at the top says Exit Full Screen. You can't see it right now, but sometimes it doesn't say Exit Full Screen. Sometimes it's a X, a box, and a minus sign. You have to hit the minus sign. It's right here now. So if you hit the minus sign, it makes their Zoom smaller. When their Zoom is smaller, they can see their tabs again. And that's something that's really difficult for them, is that once they're in this full screen mode, they have a hard time finding their tabs. So when I'm telling them, minimize your screen, make your screen smaller, minimize it, I mean make it small, like this. Once they're here, they can go back to their tabs. Their tab might say Clever. If their tab says Clever, just tell them to click on Schoology. Their tab might already be Schoology. See here at the top how it's already Schoology? Then they'll go here. So in theory, I can see them. I can see through their camera. I see everything they're doing because they didn't leave Zoom. I can still see them and I can still see if they're with me on the computer. But I can't see their screen. So they will no longer see Zoom, but they'll see their own screen, but I can still see them. So that's what's the important part. So in the groups, I am going to be teaching one group. And when I'm teaching that group doesn't bring up Schoology. They just keep their Zoom up so that they can see me. The other two groups are going to go back to Schoology and they're going to turn their microphones off. That is so important because it's going to be 6 or 7 of them on the screen and they're all going to be doing assignments on paper so they can still see each other, but they should not hear each other. They can hear me, but they should not hear each other. Once they're in the breakout room, they can always call me. So call me means they click a button and it'll be on their screen. So if they're confused, if they're here, if they're in Schoology and they're saying, I'm confused, tell them to go back to Zoom. To do that, I know you can't see it right now, but at the bottom of your screen is a blue button that looks like the Zoom camera that you click on, and that brings Zoom back up. Right now you can't see it because I'm not in breakout rooms, but down here there will be a button that says ask for help. So again, if they're confused, if they're saying, I don't know how to do it, I'm stuck, here, tell them to click back on their Zoom button. It'll open Zoom back up big and tell them to hit the ask for help button. They can ask for help and that'll bring me into their meeting. And then I'll say, are you okay? And they might say, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I will tell them what they're doing. If they know what they're doing, fingers crossed, if they know what they're doing, I wish my Zoom would go away. There we go. If they know what they're doing, they go into their Schoology and they click on their color. If they're yellow, they click on yellow. If they're green, they click on green. If they're blue, they click on blue. It'll also have their names. I'll show you in a second. So reading and math. Each week they're going to do reading activities and math activities. The reading activities are going to be about the science and social studies topics. So they're not really going to be doing like we do in school where they get to do science experiments and social studies activities and things like that. It's just going to be reading and math, but we're going to be reading about science and social studies. So for example, if I click on math, it's going to bring up their activities. Their names will be in the groups. So if you don't see their names here, if they don't see their name, they're in the wrong group. So always remember to tell them that. It's important to know, this says Monday and Tuesday. That means that there is 2 math assignments, a practice here, a practice here, and there's 4 reading assignments. That's 6 assignments, but you have all of Monday and all of Tuesday to do them. Okay, so if your child it's Monday and I bring them back at 2 o'clock and say, okay, we're leaving, goodbye. And if they're like, I didn't finish, that's because the assignments are for Monday and Tuesday. If Tuesday happens, and let's say they log back in after lunch, I say, okay, blue group, go do your assignments. Blue group comes up here. Let's say Lucas is first. Let's say Lucas does all 6 assignments and he looks at the clock and it's 1:45. And he says, I have 15 minutes. That's where the games come into play. So that's where I'm going to try to link up 3 or 4 games for math and 3 or 4 for reading. So just tell him, Lucas, if you're done, just play the games and he can just pick between each game. So for example, if I bring up a game, this is something that's also important that everybody tries. Some people at home do not have an ABCA account and some people do. I'm not sure why some do and some don't. My only suggestion would be over the weekend, try to do this with your student. Click on the game, bring it up. And if you don't have an account, either hit log in or maybe you can hit parent and teacher. I'm not really sure which one it is. But just make an account. If you make an account, then the kid will be able to play. Don't hit premium, because premium is where you have to pay for it. We're not paying for anything. You shouldn't pay for anything. Just click parent and teacher, and I guess it'll prompt you to pick parent, and then you can make an account for your child. Exit that. If they're here and they need to go back because they want to do the other assignments, there's 2 options. The easiest option is to hit materials. So tell them right under my picture, they hit materials. I wish they could just click on my picture, but it doesn't link like that. So right under my picture, they hit materials and it brings them back to the buttons. So now let's say I'm Lucas, I finished all my math activities, maybe I even played a math game, and now I'm going to go into reading. None of these are linked up yet, but there's spelling, that's just like normal. They get spelling words, they write them in their notebook. Reading, there'll be a book in there, they do a writing prompt, practice out of their workbook, and here's math, reading games. So I actually want to go back into math. When you're doing the assignments, some of them will be the workbook. So when that happens, it's just a workbook page. You know, they complete the workbook page. I want to go back. Sorry, materials. Always hit materials. Go back to materials. Blue. So I did my workbook page. Bruce is coming into my... This button says Bruce is entering my room. So I come into my materials and I hit blue because I'm still doing the blue game. And I hit math. And this time I'm going to hit this one. This one, your screen is going to look a little bit different. This right now is what my screen looks like as a teacher. Your screen will look very similar, but this blue button is going to say My Document. Click on My Document, and that's going to open up the document, and then yours, you're going to have to log in. So mine has the assignment. You will see this calendar assignment also. But before you see it, it's going to be a blue button that says Log In. You'll see the Google sign, and it'll say Log In. Just hit Log In with Google. Click on their name, and then you'll see the assignment. A lot of our assignments are going to look exactly like this, where it's going to be a drag and drop. Place the sticker on, today is Tuesday, September 8th. So you'll want to click on the sticker. Once I click on it, you have to move your cursor until it's a plus sign, like that. Do you see the plus sign? It's got to be a plus sign. If it's not the plus sign, it's not going to move. Click down and keep your finger pressing down. Maybe you need to let go for a minute, give yourself a break, but you have to press on your mouse and keep the pressure. You have to slide your finger with pressure and then let go. If you click it, just click it and let go and then try to move it, it's not going to move anywhere. You have to click down and move with pressure and then let up. Okay, once you finish that, you hit the button that says Submit Assignment. Again, it's not on mine because I'm not a student, but your button will say Submit Assignment. And then they can go back into their course and do the others. So the important thing is that when it's their turn to go back into Zoom, down at the bottom will be the Zoom button. It's blue, it's got a camera, see it here, it'll come up, and then you just click on it. Mine's over here, but I'm the teacher, and then they'll get back to Zoom. Okay, if anybody has any questions about this, rewatch this video again and again and again. It'll help a lot, I promise. Text me, call me if you need anything.